Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates are known legends of success. Their biographies are quoted endlessly, and the amount of people seeking to copy their behavior is more abundant than a white boy trying to be Eminem. And that's all fine and dandy, but we are here to tell you there's other success stories, and this particular one involves an entire city. It's 1985. Back to the Future just opened in the US, but in China, a small fishing village of Shenzhen with a population of 30,000 people was on the brink of a breakthrough. In just 40 years, these here sleepy backwoods transformed into China's Silicon Valley, an unprecedented leap in global urban history. In that span of time, Shenzhen's GDP grew by a factor of 10,000. Let us know in the comments if you know any other example of such an unprecedented growth. So in this episode, we'll uncover how a global tech hub was born right before our very eyes, how technologies being tested there today are the ones the world will adopt tomorrow, and we'll get a feel for what tech oracles really mean when they say the city of the future. So hit that like button and let's get it. It all started with Hong Kong and a little bit of jealousy from mainland China. But with almost magical ability to build things faster and cheaper, the PRC used this envy as fuel. Back in the 1970s, a strip of marshes right next to Hong Kong looked pitiful in comparison. At the time, the Pearl of the Orient was already a financial and a trade powerhouse, which stood in stark contrast to the underdeveloped mainland. Naturally, Beijing wasn't thrilled. They wanted to prove they could succeed too. Not with military though, but with economics. So China switched gears and launched two bold reforms. First, the policy of openness. China opened its doors to global trade, allowed joint ventures with foreign companies, and welcomed foreign direct investments. Second, it created special economic zones, and the very first one was Shenzhen. The plan was simple, yet risky. China offered its vast labor force and asked foreign investors to bring in the shekels. No import levies, no corporate taxes, just try to build something here. If it fails, well, you just lose what you invested. If it works, we export whatever it is that you made and strengthen our economy. At first, it was an experiment. But when growth exploded and factories, workers, and capital began flooding in, it became a national strategy. Shenzhen was powered through 5 major development master plans. From a tiny town of 30,000 people, it became a megacity of nearly 20 million. Its proximity to Hong Kong helped draw investors, but more importantly, Shenzhen's rise was fueled by science and tech, not just cheap labor. That's what made it a magnet for big business and global partners. And it wasn't just China that benefited from all this. You might want to thank one of Shenzhen's development blueprints if you own a Huawei device, because one of those plans inspired Ren Zhengfei to start the company in the first place. Right before Y2K, China had its answer to Hong Kong ready. That year, Shenzhen hosted the first China High-Tech Fair, an event that is now held annually. What probably was the smartest move of all was that China didn't just import technology or copy factories, they absorbed the know-how. And today, Shenzhen is a global benchmark for innovation, built from the ground up. Now that we have the backstory for you, let's take a look for ourselves at why Shenzhen is considered one of the most high-tech cities in the world. You ever see a bum asking for money via QR code? That's Shenzhen, baby. The city where robots already live side by side people, where a 50-floor skyscraper was built in just 3 years, which became idiomatic in the phrase, quote-unquote, at Shenzhen speed. Today, buildings like that go up in just 19 days, assembled like Lego blocks thanks to innovation. And for context, One World Trade Center took about 7 years. Now, if you're an avid traveler, the first place you look for is where you can get some rest. No need to splurge on presidential suites. We're checking into the Peng Hang Space Capsules Hotel, a futuristic capsule hotel for about $10 a pop. At the door, we're greeted by a shiny robot with glowing red LEDs. Each guest gets their own tablet to order food and drinks or contact the staff, most of which are, well, you guessed it, robots. Craving a glass of wine on a cool spring evening, huh? Just tap your selection on the tablet. Minutes later, a robot waiter rolls up to your table, tray in hand. The whole place feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi flick. Glowing blue neon corridors, space capsule sleeping pods, screens everywhere. What movies come to mind, folks? Let us know in the comments. This futuristic vibe is powered by Robotics, a Shenzhen-based company that builds delivery and cleaning robots. Take their BellaBot, for example, a cat-faced robot that doesn't just serve food, it also purrs music while it works. Over 80,000 of these robots are now working across the world, from Tokyo to Toronto. Why is it catching on? Because human staff no longer waste time on repetitive tasks like cleaning or carrying things. Oh, and they've recently unveiled a humanoid robot, the D9, complete with arms, facial recognition, and conversational AI. More helpful, more functional, 100% automatic. But hey, we're not going to be spending the whole day in a hotel, even a robot-powered one. Let's go outside and see how we can get around the place. Check this out. This is neither an airport nor a mall, even though the sheer size of it might suggest it is. What you're actually seeing is just a subway station. Okay, not just a subway station, it's one of the largest in the entire country. Welcome to Gangxia North, a true underground architectural marvel already dubbed the wonder of the decade. It's 55 acres or 220,000 square meters, which is half the area of the entire Vatican City. But in Shenzhen, the metro isn't just a way to get from point A to point B. It's a philosophy of comfort. Got a question? An AI assistant is ready to help. Too lazy to get your metro card or wait in line? How about you register your face as a ticket and glide through the gates like it's no biggie? Fares are based on distance. You pay 2 yuan or about 3 dimes per 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers. Now back up street level and marvel, because Shenzhen became the first city in China to allow fully autonomous vehicles to operate on public roads. Back in 2020, a startup called AutoX launched a fleet of 25 driverless taxis here. Soon, other tech giants joined the race, including Honky, Pony AI, and especially Baidu, China's answer to Google, with its autonomous ride-hailing brand Apollo Go. Today, hundreds of self-driving cars are operating across China's 7 largest cities, and Shenzhen is one of the key testing grounds. But Baidu didn't stop at taxis, they developed driverless buses as well. And outside, a quiet hum and an eerie sense of calm. Shenzhen's entire bus fleet has been electric since 2018. Now, the end goal is even bigger, to build the world's largest fleet of autonomous buses. And if you're wondering about safety, so did city officials. If there's a human in the vehicle, they're responsible. If it's fully autonomous, the owner takes legal responsibility. So yeah, getting around Shenzhen is fast, smooth, and basically a sneak peek into the future. After all that travel, it's perfect time to recharge. Let's order some grub. On the streets of Shenzhen, you won't see exhausted delivery people trudging along the heat with giant backpacks desperately searching for the right door. Here, delivery isn't about sweat and traffic. It's about propellers and algorithms. Shenzhen is planning to spend nearly $2 billion over the next 2 years to build infrastructure for flying cars and autonomous delivery networks. By 2026, the goal is to have at least 1,200 takeoff and landing platforms throughout the entire city. Companies like Meituan are already piloting drone delivery routes, flying orders across parks, business districts, and even the port. Their biggest challenge so far? Well, it's the dense city blocks where skyscrapers blot out the sky. Meituan's solution? Smart lockers. A drone flies in, drops off your order, and that's it. Just walk up, authenticate, and voila! Your noodles or coffee are literally dropped in from the sky. And best part is, Meituan became the first company in China to get a nationwide license for commercial drone delivery, which means they can now roll out these airborne logistics hubs across the country, turning cities into living grids of aerial supply chains. Alright, now what if you're introverted? Like, you don't want to go outside at all. Well, since 2020, a startup called UDI, that's D for David, has deployed Hercules, a fleet of sidewalk robots that deliver straight to your doorstep. These little guys can literally carry up to a ton. Okay, you're probably not ordering cement for lunch, but the possibility is there if you need it. In the beginning, they had to have a human operator come in once every 100 deliveries or so, usually in bizarre situations, like when a person suddenly climbed out of a manhole, which actually happened. Their autonomy has improved a lot since then, though Hercules' speed is still capped at 18 miles or 30 kilometers an hour for safety, even though they can go faster. And no, food runs and cargo drops aren't the only jobs robots do in Shenzhen. Out on the streets, you might just run into a law enforcement officer that don't blink. These days, it's not a Rex or a Lassie walking next to Popo on patrol, it's humanoid robots. Meet Engine AI's PM01. Dressed in a reflective vest, it can be seen strolling alongside real officers, shaking hands with pedestrians, responding to voice commands, and even waving at crowds. Isn't that sweet? Quick, somebody give it a baby to kiss. But don't believe the hype. This isn't just a walking iPad. Not like your iPad can wave or anything, but PM01 is more capable than it looks. It can rotate its upper body 320 degrees, walk 4 miles or 7 kilometers an hour, and its biomechanical joints let it handle complex tasks, from weaving through crowds to assisting in emergencies. For now, these robots are in pilot testing, but China is clearly moving fast towards integrating robotics into law enforcement. We'll go you one further. A futuristic and deceptively cute little orb named RTG by Logan Technology. It might look harmless, but this spherical robot packs a punch. It's equipped with non-lethal weapons like tear gas, smoke bombs, and even nets to capture suspects. It can reach speeds of 18 miles or 30 kilometers an hour, recognize faces, navigate over ground or water, and take impacts of up to 4 tons. Not a bad partner on patrol, eh? This is why robot police officers are so appealing. They can work 24/7, they never get tired, and carry out tasks that might be too dangerous or demanding for humans. Now, we could wander around futuristic Shenzhen all day, bumping into robots and high-tech marvels on every corner, but let's get on the fast track through Rolodex of industrial giants that quite literally built this city from wire, pixels, and silicon. But before we do, try counting how many companies we've mentioned in this video up until this point and let us know in the comments. Alright, Huawei has its global headquarters right here, a world leader in 5G, AI, and smart city tech. Then there's Tencent, the company behind WeChat and half of China's internet, now investing heavily in the metaverse and digital ecosystems. DJI, operating out of the ultra-modern Sky City, has basically monopolized the global drone market, from influencers to the military. BYD makes electric vehicles, and their dark factory operates with no humans on the line, just industrial robots controlled by AI. Recently, Unitree Robotics opened a new facility here to take advantage of Shenzhen's robust supply chains and government support. They specialize in humanoid robots and robot dogs and are considered one of the world's leading developers in this field. If you watched our previous videos, you'd know that Deep Robotics robots save lives, fight fires, and operate in extreme conditions from -4 to 130 Fahrenheit or -20 to 55 Celsius. But Unitree's G1 can dance, or toast bread, do kung fu, and it was the first robot in the world to pull off a side flip. It might not sound like much, but from a machine learning perspective, it's a breakthrough. It's cheaper, more scalable, and already sold worldwide, and the competition doesn't stop at China's borders. Take JD Logistics, the Chinese equivalent of Amazon on steroids. They already deploy over 600 autonomous delivery vehicles across 30 cities, serving residential areas, malls, and business hubs. Their drones even deliver to hard-to-reach remote regions. Long story short, as of today, Shenzhen is home to over 24,000 nationally recognized high-tech enterprises. And every year, that number keeps growing by the thousands. So, as you can see, it's a complete ecosystem, from manufacturing to investment, from startups to tech giants, from first prototypes to mass adoption. Shenzhen didn't just catch up to Northern California, it's showing the world what the future looks like, which is filled with robots, drones, and AI at every turn. But even this isn't the final chapter. Let's take a look at what this already futuristic megacity is set to become by the year 2030. Now, obviously, comparing Shenzhen to Silicon Valley was inevitable. but it's the focus that matters. Instead of trying to be the jack of all trades like Palo Alto, China stuck to one thing. The government made robot integration in manufacturing one of its top national priorities, a strategic tool to boost productivity and enhance global competitiveness. This robotic workforce isn't just meant to assist, it's meant to reduce dependency on human labor, expand export capacity, and build next-level infrastructure, where machines aren't assistants but full-fledged participants. So what's China promising over the next 5 years? Here's the stats. By 2030, Shenzhen will have 25 metro lines stretching over 620 miles or 1,000 kilometers. You'll be able to get from downtown Futian to Hong Kong in 14 minutes and to Guangzhou in 2 hours instead of 7. New schools, kindergartens, hospitals, hundreds of new facilities for 1 million new residents, all while surpassing early targets for clean energy production. Shenzhen has already developed 4 implementation plans for AI and urban infrastructure, covering around 200 real-world cases. This is an invaluable example for other countries, the creation of a fully integrated, citywide Shenzhen intelligent twin system. We're talking about going full digital. E-government, smart homes with sensors and surveillance, smart traffic systems where AI decides when to switch traffic lights, how to set up express lanes for emergency vehicles, and more. Of course, this also includes facial recognition, license plate tracking, and token scanning, which have been around for a while now, but not as integrated and flexible as in Shenzhen. In just 5 years, Shenzhen won't just be a city, it will be a digital matrix where every motion, every service, and every light bulb is synced with a vast intelligence, all supported by the most advanced machines. That was a great trip, guys. It's time to head on home. So now, a humanoid officer checks if everything's in order, a drone carefully delivers your dinner, the lights dim automatically because they know you're tired, and it all sounds super convenient, doesn't it? But here's the big one. Where does comfort end and control begin? Would you want to live in a city where the line between progress and freedom keeps getting thinner? The Great Shenzhen Experiment in just 10 or 20 years might become the global norm. Robots living alongside humans, delivering packages, running hotels, patrolling the streets, you name it. The world is changing faster than we can even process. But one thing we can process right now is that your like and subscription helps keep this channel going. So do what you gotta do, which hopefully includes liking our videos, and check out our Instagram for more from the world of high tech.